Home for Auburn sports is the Auburn Sports Network.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green.
Make it green. Green, green, green. Make it green. It's your home, it's your dream. It's your dream.
Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Here's farmer and landowner John Prue.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety Campaign.
Good morning, Auburn, and welcome to another exciting episode of Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, Auburn's premier home for student-run radio since 1971. As always, I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside my colorman, Davis Carroll. We'd like to welcome in our listeners and viewers from across the Auburn Opelika Megaplex and around the world, however you may be tuning in today, whether that be on your terrestrial radio antenna, through the information superhighway at weglfm.com, or tuning in after the fact on transistor.fm or Eagle Eye TV. We are happy to have you here in the booth with us for Auburn's only student-run drive time morning show. And with that, we are broadcasting live from the Bradley Basin WEGL studios here in the bowels of the Harold Melton Student Center on the campus of Auburn University, where it is a lovely, 47 and sunny this fine autumn morning on this first day of November. Welcome into Compact Discourse. Davis, how are you feeling today? Feeling good?
Feeling good. Honestly, always a little tired, so I'm not even going to say that, even though I just kind of did. Yeah, feeling good. I like the weather. Starting to get to the temperature I like. Starting to wear jackets again.
You start to wear your outfits you like to wear.
Yes. You see the same 4 jackets on repeat.
Get ready.
See if I can change it up a little bit.
Put them on rotation. At this point, I would like to remind our audience that if at any point in the next 2 hours you feel so inclined to ask us a question, drop us a hot take, or in the highly unlikely event that we get something wrong, if you would like to correct us, you can go ahead and do so at 334-844-WEGL. That is 334-844-9345 on your touch-tone keypad. You can also send us a tweet at CDiscAU. That is CDISCAU on the Twitter, and we would love to hear from you. We've gotten some great feedback in the past, and we'd like to keep that going. We've got show announcements and more going on the Twitter, so you aren't going to want to miss that. Go ahead and visit us at CDISCAU on Twitter for more of that great Compact Discourse content live from the Twitter app. So check that out if you have not already. Davis, you mentioned the weather. We'll jump right into that because it is of note this morning. It is 47 degrees and sunny, so you may just bundle up on your way to work or class this fine Monday morning. 71 degrees is your high for today. 48 degrees is your low. We're looking at clear skies all day long. Very little chance of rain as a result of that. Less than a 1% chance of rain into the afternoon, where we're going to get up to 70 degrees. And then this evening, it's going to jump back down to 55 when that sun sets at about 5:50 p.m. tonight. 6% chance of rain, as it always is at this time of year, and 6% chance of rain, rather, and an overnight temp of 51 degrees. So it's going to get chilly once again overnight, and once that sun sets, 5:50 p.m., your low of 48 is probably going to hit just around then after the sun disappears over the western horizon. And that's going to do it for your initial weather report for today. We'll get to that later on in the show as well. But with that, I believe we can jump right into the show. It is November 1st, as you may know, so do all the things that the first of the month does entail. Don't forget to pay your rent and what have you. So all that good stuff. Excited to jump right into the next calendar month of the year. Joe, do we have a good October? I feel like October was a very good month, all things considered.
Overall, I'd say so. I don't have anything to complain about from it. A lot of events happened, moving forward in life for everybody.
That's good. Yeah, I feel like from going down to LSU at the start of the month to all the great game weekends we had, including this past one where Auburn beat Ole Miss on Saturday night. I feel like we had a lot of memorable moments from October and a lot of just great moments on the show here. We talked a lot of. I feel like I got them. It's always a lot of pressure to get the most out of your spooky season because it's it's the few times a year where you can embrace the atmosphere, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure, at least on myself, to get the most out of it and consume some good media and drink some good pumpkin spice. And I feel like I got all that out of my system that I needed to.
How much pumpkin spice did you get this month?
I drank 2 bags of the Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice coffee, which is not. I mean, I understand that that's just an autumn thing, so I can keep that going, and I think I will because it's very good. But I feel like I sufficiently got into the to the Halloween spirit over this past month.
Interesting. Hey, how do they get pumpkin spice?
You don't get it?
I mean, like, how do they get like the pumpkin and they get like the grater thing?
Well, the thing about pumpkin spice is that there's no pumpkin in it.
What?
It's the spices you would use to make a pumpkin pie. It's like cinnamon. And I mean, I can look up a more technical definition.
I've never actually had pumpkin spice. I thought it was just like it tastes like. I assumed it tastes like a pumpkin pie, like the pumpkin part was in there.
It's a very just crucial ingredient in the pumpkin pie, but it's spice for the pumpkin, not spice of the pumpkin. So it is generally a blend of cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, and sometimes allspice.
That sounds like you can't really go wrong with that combination. If it works for pumpkin pie, it probably works for other things too.
I mean, it's a pretty safe bet, and especially from the months of September through January, I feel like you can't go wrong putting this on just about anything.
Even a bagel? Did you put that on a bagel?
I feel like it would work on a bagel. None of those are like inherently sweet spices. I feel like the sweetness comes from the other stuff going on.
I feel like if you toast the bagel, put some butter on it, and then you put your pumpkin spice on, I think that'd be pretty good. If I never had it, but I assume it'd be good. You like cinnamon toast?
Yeah,
that's kind of how I see it in my mind.
Although pumpkin spice is kind of a craze, and have you noticed, like, in the past few years, how there's just been pumpkin spice everything?
I mean,
have you picked up on this?
Yes.
Well, I think we should discuss some crazy pumpkin spice products.
All right.
And maybe get your take on these.
All right,
just a thumbs up, thumbs down. I feel like that's all that's required. I think it might be pretty clear. Pumpkin spice Twinkies.
I'm gonna say thumbs down. I think Twinkies should only have the 2 flavors that they have.
What are the 2 flavors?
There's obviously the regular Twinkie, like the
classic,
the yellow
very
with
yummy.
Those are good. And then there's also the chocolate version, which I mean, like, I could even live with that not existing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's the 2 variations of Twinkies that should exist personally.
I think I've had these. I don't know if I was yay or nay on them back then. So I'll give them a nay because I just, like you said, I think I'm a Twinkie purist. I think there's only room for so many bizarre.
I feel like the only other Twinkie type there could be is like if they made like a mini Twinkie, like donut balls,
like a pocket sized.
Yeah, like they just made it mini and it had it's basically like a donut ball. I think that's something they should look into.
That could work.
Twinkies
Something
are
that
good.
isn't long.
Yeah. Just pop them in.
That could work.
Sponge cake. Twinkies are good.
I
Little
enjoy
buttery though.
Twinkie.
Little buttery sometime though.
Can't believe they went away for so long.
It wasn't even that long.
Was that like a stunt, or did they actually stop?
They went out of business, and then like I'm pretty sure Little Debbie or whatever brought them back to life.
They
pulled
that
a
was
Frankenstein
so hard to
on 'em.
believe. All right, Blue Diamond does indeed make pumpkin spice almonds.
Oh, I'm gonna say thumbs down to that one too.
Thumbs down on the almonds. Yeah, I don't know how I'd.
I'm not big on adding extra things to like
I feel like
nuts.
on paper those could be good, but I don't trust Blue Diamond not to make those too sweet. You know.
Yeah, I like cashews a lot. I have had chocolate cashews. I will say, those are kind of hit or miss. Either like the best thing you've ever eaten, or you don't want to eat another one. And I'm not big on adding sweetness to my tree nuts.
Good call.
Personally.
All right. Pumpkin spice Pringles.
No.
No.
It's a no.
Out on.
No sweet Pringles for me.
I don't know if. Yeah, I don't know. There's Pringles kind of fell off the deep end too with the whole flavor situation.
I think they
They
kind of
got too big for their can.
They found a ton of flavors that worked, but then like you have to go somewhere else from there. Because I mean, like I feel like they pretty much perfected their sour cream, their regular, their
There must
cheese.
have been some big breakthrough in like the powdering technology in the past 10 years.
They got a machine you put
they
your
got
thing
that
in
m-
and it powderized.
They got like the reverse of that machine in Back to the Future
yeah.
too.
That's
that-
what I was thinking of the Spy Kids one.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's the same thing. Same idea. A dehydrator, if you will. Pumpkin spice candy corn. I feel like that could work.
That sounds like a thumbs up. I'm not a big candy corn guy, but I think I see the buy now button under that on your screen.
I feel like
It's really tempting.
I don't even know if that's to buy the candy corn. That might be to buy something completely
Buy
different.
some malware.
Mm-hmm. Some free RAM for my computer. We got pumpkin spice hummus on the docket.
I'm gonna say no on that one. I don't really eat hummus that often, but
I think I'm willing to
works.
try it, but I think I would be very reluctant.
If I'm eating a chip and I want the hummus taste, I don't feel like I need the pumpkin spice is gonna be a good addition there for me.
All right, this one's coming straight from one of our favorite restaurants, and that is Kentucky Fried Chicken, where KFC has a pumpkin and feta cheese wrap.
What?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say no on that one as well.
I think, yeah, I need some, either more information or to try it, and I don't think I'm going to be able to try this. It looks like an international food item. Man. Pumpkin and
Feta.
Twister. Got it.
Where's it at? Did you say Fortnite?
Fortune,
Oh,
the reputable news outlet. Yeah, it is just that. It is a pumpkin feta cheese and roasted pumpkin, lettuce, smoky chipotle, grilled chicken, crumbled feta cheese.
that sounds more like a stunt since it's
And it is in
KFC.
Australia, so
Oh well.
yeah. KFC goes crazy in other countries. We get stuck with the most boring stuff
They have
here.
like burgers in other countries or something, don't they? There's
Mhm.
some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the Red Link videos.
We got good grief, pumpkin spice toothpaste.
No,
No,
I'm not big. As a kid, when I went to the dentist, they always gave us the option like mint. I guess gave me the option like mint, something else, and there was like a cookie dough option. I always went for that because I was like, oh, cookie dough's awesome. I'm gonna love
course.
this. But I'm not big on flavored toothpaste anymore, like regular than mint.
all right. Here's one to answer your bagel question. Philadelphia, of course, does sell pumpkin spice cream cheese.
Okay, since I said it might be good on a bagel, I'll give it a thumbs up. But it's not. That's not really the way I was thinking of it working.
Are you thinking of it being like integrated into the bagel? And
I
put it in
was
the
thinking more like you put your stuff on and then you shake your powder onto it. Like at home in Grand Bay, we have a little cowboy shaker and it has cinnamon sugar in it for cinnamon toast.
Okay.
It's a cowboy on it.
Where are the holes on the cowboy? Like his hat?
It's just like the cowboy's on the front and then it's just a regular top. It's not like
the shape of a cowboy.
Yeah, it's not. I should have specified that. It's not the shape of a cowboy, which would be very cool.
It's not like those awesome wolf salt.
It's
salt
just
and
like a
pepper
tin
shakers we saw.
shaker, probably from like the 60s or 70s for some reason. Just a cowboy on it.
I got you. Man, this one I don't get. It's Greenies, the dog treat that you give to clean your dog's teeth. I know the dog that lives at my apartment sometimes eats them. They have pumpkin spice Greenies, which
the dogs got to get in on the festivities too.
Do the dogs even perceive that?
Yeah, they definitely perceive that. I doubt they're like, oh, this is pumpkin spice.
Of course, yes. There's such a nip in the air. It must be time for pumpkin spice.
I'm sure they taste it, but I'm not sure how much they like it. I know dogs will eat anything. That's their thing. But, I'm not giving my dog that. I'll give my dog, steak-flavored Greenies instead.
I feel like if you're a dog, this isn't, even top 100 on your concerns for, to be festive.
I give them chocolate flavored just so they can taste the chocolate without dying.
That's an interesting concept you bring up there. A dog may never know the taste of chocolate if you don't kind of
You can give them a little bit. Not that I do, but they're not gonna die if they eat a little bit of chocolate.
I feel like dogs are pretty resilient.
Yeah, I used to I always had outside dogs growing up, and they just be they'd take a bullet and they just keep going.
Did you test that empirically?
I did not, but my dog this year has been hit by a Polaris one time, and he kept going.
Kept on kicking.
Kept kicking.
All right, with that, we are going to head to a quick break. When we come back, there's a lot to talk about here on this Monday morning, including the World Series, which rumbles on over to Houston starting tomorrow evening. We've also got college football, as plenty of ranked teams were downed over the weekend. We've also got the November Challenge to talk about, and we will challenge all of our listeners to participate in a little bit of self-betterment in the 11th month of the year before we go on to the holiday season. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some more Compact Discourse in a few minutes.
Fire threatens everything in its path. When it threatens our nation and our communities, we respond. We bring the fight to the front line. The Army National Guard stands ready to face the dangers of Mother Nature and protect our homes and our neighbors. We will always be there when your community needs us the most. Discover more about all the ways you can serve part-time in your community by visiting nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Alabama's companies know people need to feel safe at work. That's why Alabama Works has partnered with agencies across the state to provide access to everything from CDC guidelines to the latest in on-the-job safety innovations. At alabamaworks.com, you're one click away from what you need to know to get to work safely. Work safe, be safe. Your new success story is at alabamaworks.com.
Sponsored by Alabama Works, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Alabama veterans. Are you aware that because of your military service you may have earned VA benefits? The Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs can help you access those benefits at no cost to you, even during COVID-19 when other resources might be hard to find. The Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs has an office near you. For more information, go to va.alabama.gov or give us a call at 334-242-5077. We're open and ready to serve you. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs, the ABA, and this station.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
WEGL Auburn.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hall, joined alongside Davis Carroll on this first month of November, welcoming you into the show on this lovely fall day we have going on here this Monday morning. So I hope you are staying warm and bundling up if you are making your way to class, work, school, whatever today. And if you haven't left the house yet, go ahead and check that temp before you head out, because you might just need to pack an extra layer. I had to break out the gloves today, which I have not done in a while. So excited to for this new challenge that the colder weather will bring to the day.
Are you a step out and feel how cold it is, or do you like ascertain as to what the temperature is some other way? Do you like ask? I asked my Alexa.
I have like two levels of clothing I'll wear. So I'll either I think I checked the weather app, just the default Apple weather app, like a peasant last night, or I guess very early this morning as I was retiring to bed, and saw it was going to be below 70. So that meant clothing option number 2, which is 3 or 4 layers. So I was pretty content with my outfit choice by the time I stepped out today. So, but I did know to pack my gloves. So I was thankful that Spring Jack put them in a place where Fall Jack could find them.
Cold by nature, this guy.
Yeah, it's a cross I have to bear. All right. Speaking of November, we are in the 11th month of the year. We still do not have an MLB champion yet because, man, Jocktober has come to a close and the series is not yet resolved. The Atlanta Braves did not clinch the World Series last night in their final game in Atlanta. As the series shifts back to Houston, Atlanta is up 3-2 in the World Series against the Houston Astros, but they fell by a tally of 9-5 last night in a losing effort in Truist Park. Atlanta got off to a hot start, loading the bases in the bottom of the first, where Adam Duvall then sent one into the chop house to make it 4-0 Atlanta, which in any other game this series probably would have been a death knell, as it's been a pretty low-scoring series, especially these two games in Atlanta, where a combined 7 runs total have been scored, 5 by the winning team. So that looked to be just about wrapped up for Atlanta, but the Astros showed a lot of fight and continued to nickel and dime down the Braves bullpen until they recaptured the lead and eventually, or they tied things up and eventually recaptured the lead in the 5th inning. So A.J. Minter issuing a bases-loaded walk to send the game to a tie, and then Gonzalez singles to left center to score Alex Bregman and Yuli Gurriel. Then the Astros continued to pour it on, putting up a crooked number in, 5 out of the 9 innings. They scored 12 hits, 9 runs, 9-5 is your final tally, as the Houston Astros get the win over the Atlanta Braves. So the Atlanta Braves take 2 of 3 in their 3-game set in Atlanta and will have to win 2 more games at home in order to capture the Commissioner's Trophy. Atlanta is just 1 win away for their first World Championship since 1995 against their former National League rival, the Houston Astros. Did you watch this game?
I did. Every second of it. I will say that I wasn't happy with the choice to keep Drew Smiley in for so many innings, but I guess if the Braves want to keep their bullpen more rested for their trip to Houston, that might be smart, but he really was not getting it done for me, in my eyes.
I feel like, yeah, at that point you're down. You haven't shown much life on offense other than a Freddie Freeman single-shot home run in the 3rd inning. You're down a pretty considerable tally, especially for the World Series in the playoffs when runs come at a premium. You're down, 7-5, which is, it's 2 runs, but it's manageable, but it doesn't look like your offense is doing much. I think preserving the pen and living to play another day might have been, because I think if you go for broke and don't get it, if you burn all your bullpen arms, I think you're in a really bad spot heading back to Houston with no momentum after suffering a pretty devastating loss at home.
The other thing that I really noticed from the game was Dansby Swanson. He obviously had the 2 errors. It just really didn't look like his whole effort was there a lot of the time whenever he was going for, ground balls right beside him. He really looked like he was just kind of jogging to him half the time. Maybe that was just my perception. It wasn't really like that at the game for y'all, but I don't know. It just really seemed like he wasn't in it for me.
That is true. I was impressed by Zach Greinke going out there as a pinch hitter and just lining one out to right. He's a baller.
He has more hits than Yordan Alvarez in the series.
He's really motivated to win a championship, I can tell.
Zach Greinke, that's him. That's who he is. He won't say anything to any of his teammates or the fans, but there's a fire inside him we don't know about.
Yeah, he's fighting his own little battle at any given moment.
I wonder what he's thinking about when he's running bases.
I think Austin Riley was your best performing Brave. He went 3-4-4. Him and Travis d'Arnaud were the only Braves with more than one hit on the night. d'Arnaud, of course, goes 2 of 4, but Duvall was the biggest source of the Atlanta Braves offense after loading the bases in the first inning. Duvall is the one that knocks one over the right field wall to make it 4-0, but the Braves bats were relatively quiet on the night, which did not really surprise me because that's kind of been the case the whole series. They scored 6 in game 1, and that has been that's been the most they've scored so far this series, and that was after a big 5-run first and second inning. So I think the Braves need to bring that offense with them back to Houston, considering the small ball game that they had been playing the past 2 games where they won 2-0 and 3-2 is not gonna work if your bullpen is as shaky as it was yesterday, including a bases loaded walk from AJ Minter to really put the momentum back in the Astros' favor.
I think that for me, the Braves, I mean, I get they were down 2 and 4 in the last few innings, but the pitches they were swinging at, it really seemed like they were just desperation swings. I think that this might sound like an old head thing, but you get some singles, get them up the middle, you can easily come back. You don't have to swing for the fences every single time.
Mm.
Which, that might have been what they were told to do, just to get some momentum, quick shot to the heart for them.
Yeah.
Adrenaline shot, but I think they could have easily gotten it back because it really just seemed like they were going for it all every swing.
Yeah, I feel like they had 3 opportunities to bat where they were down 2 and 3, 2 opportunities to bat where they were down 2, and 1 opportunity to bat where they were down just 3, and the bullpen just continued to suck the energy out of the stadium, and the bats weren't helping them at all. Getting set down in order. The Astros pitching staff did a pretty good job on the night. That was Valdez, Garcia, Urquidy, Matone, Stanek, and Graveman, all combined for just 8 hits and 5 runs. All of them were earned by Framber Valdez, who gave up that shot from Freddie Freeman, as well as the Duvall home run. So he just gave up 2 home runs worth 5 runs. And but other than that, no other Astros pitcher gave up more than 2 hits, including Garcia and Stanek, both coming in for an inning of relief and getting their respective guys out with no hits. Stanek getting a strikeout, Matone coming in and getting 3 strikeouts. So Astros bullpen, I think, was the story of the night. After the Braves bullpen had been so good this series, it was the Astros bullpen that really came in and stole the show, kind of pulled the rug out from under Atlanta.
So I know you went to the game.
I did go to the game.
World Series games, once in a lifetime, able to go to, even if it wasn't what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So how was the energy there, being a World Series game in Atlanta?
Man, it was something else. Let me tell you, the Battery before the game, just more people than it was like Disney World. There was just people everywhere. A little more raucous than Disney World.
A little more drinks than Disney World.
Yeah, a little more. I can't even say, but it was, I don't know. You could just feel it was just electricity in the air, and then man, going into the game, it was surreal. People were cheering as they were getting their ticket scanned. People were just lining just busting at the seams was Truist Park, and just an unbelievable attendance, unbelievable energy. People were standing for until until the energy kind of died in the late stages of the game, and in the fifth, sixth, and seventh inning. After that Astros 3-run fifth, it seemed to be kind of a mob scene. But especially after the Duval home run in the first inning, I don't think I'd ever heard any stadium be louder than that. It was kind of hard to process everything while celebrating at the same time. But even the Freddie Freeman home run was an unbelievable spectacle, and it was super loud, super high energy, and it's great to see a stadium like that where you don't always see it completely packed out because it's a summertime sport. Mm-hmm. There's 162 games. You don't always get to have a packed house every single time. So to have postseason baseball shivering at a baseball game, which is something that I have not experienced since I went to a Red Sox game, it was an unbelievable experience. And it would have been great to have seen them raise the trophy last night, but I feel like it was an unforgettable experience no matter what. So,
did you see any of the in-game sites at their stadiums? Did you go check any of them out?
What do you mean?
Like they have place you can go throw baseballs, hit baseballs,
no,
vaccine centers. You can go get vaccinated.
Pretty
there.
much, I was
locked in the chair,
in the seat, or in the bathroom for 3 hours
Understandable.
last night. So, and they didn't even. We can talk a little more about this on the other side of a break, but they didn't have any kind of festivities going on during the game at all. There was no tool race. There was no beat the freeze. It felt like it was a very sterile environment. I feel like Fox kind of takes over once it gets to this far, and they don't no horsing around. It's the World Series. We can't have the tool race. I feel like it would have been a break in the energy. So it was an interesting experience. We'll talk a little more about our trip to Truist Park on the other side of a break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some more Compact Discourse in about 2 minutes. I'm Jack Carr, joined alongside Davis Carroll. We're talking World Series on the other side of a break.
If you've been working, you've already proven yourself in ways you may not even notice. Managing your time, communicating effectively, and working as part of a team are key skills that employers value. At alabamaworks.com, you can find out how to build on your experience to up your game and get the job you really want because it's out there. Start your new success story at alabamaworks.com.
Sponsored by Alabama Works, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
They really appreciate what she's done as a sister as well as a soldier and, supporting their country.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Family members that are soldiers in the Army National Guard inspire and influence, setting a path for others.
It's validating knowing that, I kind of did my part to make sure this is what they actually wanted and that they feel the same way I do. I'm really proud that we get to help shape the future, and I know that my sisters are going to be amazing soldiers.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share in.
A lot of pride, and they're just out there doing something every day and then serving their country as well.
I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture.
Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Watch out for people riding bikes. It's not just courteous. Now it's the law. The new 3 Feet for Safety Act requires that drivers give at least 3 feet of space when passing bicyclists. More and more people are commuting and touring Alabama on bicycles. As the number of cyclists on our roads increases, so does the need for safe driving. So slow down and give cyclists 3 feet of room. Follow the rules of the road and watch out for each other. Learn more at drivesafealabama.org. Sponsored by ALDOT, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
91.1 WEGL FM, Auburn University.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I am your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll, coming at you live on a Monday morning right here from the WEGL studios in the Harold Melton Student Center. We are on the campus of Auburn University, broadcasting live from WEGL That is Auburn's student-run radio station, broadcasting live from the Plains, hit-to-hit, back-to-back, since 1971. That's over 50 years we've been on the airwaves here in Auburn, Alabama. So, celebrating 50 years is WEGL. Thank you for spending your Monday morning with us here. We hope you are enjoying the show so far. We would love to hear from you. If you are, you can tweet at us at CDISCAU on Twitter if you have something you'd like to share about the World Series or anything we have or will talk about on the show today. You can also watch us live on YouTube, WEGL 91.1 on YouTube. Look for the orange and blue Eagle logo, and we are live in living color, video live stream on the YouTube page. And you can also listen to our podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for Compact Discourse, and you will be able to listen to the show completely PSA break free wherever you get your podcast. Once again, if you need something to listen to on your commute or during exercise or however you enjoy podcasts, we'd love it if you chose Compact Discourse as your podcast of choice. All right, we're going to get to your weather report as it is the bottom of the hour right now in Auburn, Alabama as of 8:34 a.m. It is 51 degrees and sunny here on the Plains, high of 71, low of 48 here today. Your afternoon temp will get up to 70 degrees if you want to find the sunshine this afternoon. There will be plenty of it as we are looking at clear skies all day today. We've also got an evening temperature of 55 degrees. Sun is going to set at 10 to 6 tonight, so plan accordingly if you're doing any kind of outdoor activities. It's getting darker just a little bit earlier once again as we are now a before 6 p.m. sunset, if you can believe it or not. So the days are getting shorter indeed, and the cold weather is following right behind. We've got an overnight temp of 51 degrees for tonight as we move ahead and look forward to another amazing week here in Auburn, Alabama. So once again, it is the first of the month, so do your first of the month responsibilities. It's a great day for a fresh start as we move into the 11th month of the year. Hope everyone had a happy Halloween and a very productive and fun October. It is one of the most fun months of the year, so I hope you took advantage of that and had a great month of October. So, and if you didn't have a great month of October, that's okay. Today's a good day for a fresh start, and we encourage you to do so and have a great November. So we're going to jump right back into things, including I went to Truist Park last night to see a World Series game, which is not a thing a lot of people could say.
Yeah.
There were about 40,000. I mean, the capacity of Truist Park is 40,000. I think standing room, it was closer to 50,000. I think it was actually absolutely packed to the gills in Truist Park. But the real scene was next door over at the Battery, where I would not be surprised if the surrounding area of Truist Park got to 6 digits last night with the amount of people that were there.
My goodness.
There were so many people there, in fact, that the fire marshal basically came and shut down the Battery to have no new people come in. There were simply too many people to have in one spot. So it was only you could only leave the Battery by the time the game started.
Could you go back in after you left it?
I don't know how you'd enforce that, so probably not.
Interesting. Everybody from Georgia came to Truist Park last night. It seems.
Pretty much, and it was quite a raucous atmosphere. We were at the very top of the 400 level, like our backs were up against the chain link fence, so we had a pretty good view of not only what was going on the field, as there's not really a bad seat in that park. The sight lines are very good. The only thing we couldn't see was like the right field corner, which I think only one thing happened there the whole game. So it was a great seat, even though we were literally, I think, maybe in one of the worst seats in the stadium. It was still a great seat, which is just a testament to what great technology we have in this modern age, where you can make a ballpark like that. Meanwhile, in Fenway, you can be sitting, on the third base line and have home plate obstructed by a load-bearing column.
It's so old. It's so traditional.
So we'll thank God for cantilevers and all the great technology that's made us make modern ballparks so great, make the experience so enjoyable. But we also, up in those seats, had a very good view of the Battery. We could turn around and look through the chain link fence and see the scene that was going on. Especially, we had a really good view of the Coca-Cola Roxy, which is there was a big watch party going on out there at the Battery. So it was interesting to see, how people were reacting to hearing noise from the crowd from inside the stadium, and then watching it on TV a few seconds later. It was very interesting on the Jose Altuve slide call there in the later stages of the game that ended up leading to a run. So it was a semi-meaningful call. You can assert whether or not that was a futile effort at that point, as it just added one run to the Astros' already 3-run lead. But Jose Altuve was called safe at second base after a pickoff move, and he was called safe, and then he was ruled safe the call stood. It wasn't confirmed, but based on the reactions from the people outside the stadium who were watching the TV, which was showing different angles from inside the park, it seemed like that may not have been the right call. So that was an interesting dynamic to kind of hear a whole different set of people watching a whole different feed equally cheer at the same time as we were all intently watching the video board from inside the stadium.
It looked safe it looked out to me, but I don't think there was enough to overturn it, really.
That's what I thought.
It was pretty close.
I mean, the umpire had a really good view of it, so. But, people make mistakes. That's why you check. So, not exactly sure about that one, but it reminded me a lot of an Auburn game where there's a lot of people outside the stadium watching into the stadium and vice versa to see the TV feed. So that was very interesting. But yeah, it was the last World Series game in Atlanta for at least a year. So I'm excited that I was able to experience that. The first World Series game in Atlanta first World Series since 1999. So don't know when one of those will come again. Could be another 22 years before another one happens. So I'm happy, win, lose, or draw, that the Braves were at least competent. They gave us something to cheer for in the game last night. It was unlike the last playoff game that I went to where the Braves were eliminated. So at least they've got 2 more opportunities to try and win it. So there's a lot to be happy about from last night, even though the Braves did not put on a great performance against the Astros.
Did you see what happened with John Boy coming out of last night?
No.
Today's a no.
I enjoy John Boy, though, so I'm very excited to hear what you're about to say.
So obviously, Zach Greinke's been getting some good hits, and he is a pitcher, so he will. This has happened on Twitter, by the way, if you want to check there.
Okay.
He has been wearing a jacket or a coat. Maybe not a coat. That's not the right word. It's not like a trench coat. He wears his jacket running around bases to keep his arm warm, as most pitchers do. And John Boy, I think from his personal account, maybe called him soft, basically. And old head Twitter has gone crazy about him calling him soft. And I have the tweet pulled up that someone said, quote, "I'm still positively shook that John Boy, a man who is one skittle away from diabetes, summoned the audacity to call Zach Greinke soft for wearing a jacket on the base paths." And that has really lit a fire on Twitter on people that think pitchers should wear coats or jackets around the bases. What are your thoughts? Are they soft for wearing a jacket? And is John Boy wrong or right in his battle against jacket Twitter?
I mean, I don't know. Let him live.
Hey,
if you can I'm not if you got to go whole hog. Either you're out there and you're stuck with your batting gloves and your pads, you got to wear that all the way around the bases, or you can have somebody run out and swap stuff with you. I think you should have to either bat in the jacket or no jacket.
I think more people should wear the jacket. I'd wear a jacket if it's cold.
Last night I would have been in the jacket for sure.
It seems like
Can anyone wear the jacket, or is it a pitcher's only rule? Do you know the rule?
I don't. I've never seen anybody else wear a jacket beside a pitcher though.
I haven't either.
I feel like if you, I don't know actually. I'm about to look it up. But I guess utility-wise, the only person that has a reason to wear it is to keep their arm warm, which I'm not sure how scientifically true that is personally.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I don't know how warm a jacket sleeve is going to keep your arm. If it's like
just more warm than not.
If it's imperative that your arm stays a certain temperature for you to be able to throw.
I put a heat pack on it.
Yeah, I feel like there are other ways to accomplish that. But obviously they do it for a reason. It's not like they're getting a tactical advantage by wearing a jacket. There's no ulterior motive at play, I'd say. Can you think of anything? Like, it's not like they're batting in the jacket and they can have...
But that's against the rules also.
Right, because it gives you more space to be hit by the pitch.
Oh.
So
no other player is permitted to wear a jacket while a base runner, a batter, a defense player, or a coach on the baselines. If worn, the jacket must be buttoned.
I mean, that's fair. That's a good rule.
So only the pitcher can wear a jacket when running bases.
See, I don't get that. Like, what?
They get special treatment. Not a lot of things. There's a lot of things in baseball that are just there because they're old.
That is completely true. John Boy on Twitter thinks that Jose Altuve was out, for the record.
Yeah, he must be out then. I've never seen John Boy be wrong.
So, we are... man, this is an electric Twitter account.
A lot of things happen.
So much going on. At John Boy Media, if you'd like to check that one out. John Boy is a favorite of us here on Compact Discourse. Part of the inspiration for the show, even. If I would go so far as to say.
And if you find a clip of him saying, "I'm not sure what they're saying here," be sure to send it this way.
Yeah, we've been looking for that one for quite some time. But John Boy, he's in the words of Chris Tobias, he's made baseball fun again.
He is.
If you can make grumpy old man Chris Tobias like baseball, then you're doing something right.
Chris was watching it last night. He was getting excited.
That's good. That's
Believe
good
it or
to
not.
hear. So I have very fond memories. I watched John Boy with my dad. I watched John Boy with just about anybody who will sit in front of a television with me. I very much enjoy it. So I'm very sad that baseball will be coming to an end here, regardless of who wins at the end of this week. So, but I'm excited for more wacky things for John Boy to make reviews of, including like Russian basketball. Did you see that one?
I did not see that one. I've seen the Finnish baseball one.
Well, that's a classic.
That's
Paulo, Shoot the River. John Boy Media. Check it out if you haven't already. It's a lot of fun. But keep it right here on Compact Discourse. I'm Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll. We're going to be talking some more on the other side of a break, so don't go anywhere.
The Delta variant cases of COVID-19 might be more infectious and more transmissible, but there is something we each can do to limit the spread of coronavirus. Wear a mask. Whether it's homemade or manufactured, embellished or plain, wearing a face mask or covering in public, in addition to social distancing and regular hand washing, is one of the easiest ways to protect yourself and others from coronavirus. According to the CDC, wearing a mask is an important part of a layered prevention approach that not only helps to limit cases of COVID-19 infections in communities where vaccination rates are low, but doing so can also limit the emergence of future COVID-19 variants. By wearing a mask or face covering, especially in crowded indoor spaces or busy areas with limited ventilation or poor air quality, you can do your part to keep yourself, your family, and others around you safe. For more information, visit our website at alabamapublichealth.gov. That's alabamapublichealth.gov.
COVID-19 changed everything, and good information has never been more important. There are jobs available right now. Get the facts about what it takes to get one and how you can take action. Use your time to get prepared for the job you need and the career you want. We'll all get through this with information and resources to be ready for what comes next. Your success story is our success story. Get started at alabamaworks.com.
My community means everything to me. That's why I joined the Army National Guard. I'm proud of where I'm from, and as a soldier, I get to give back to the people that helped me succeed. The training and leadership skills I get from the Army National Guard help me every day when I teach young people and look out for my community. If you'd like to learn how you too can serve part-time in the community you love, visit nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
You may have hoodwinked everyone else in this backwater town, but you can't fool me. I listen to public radio. WEGL, Auburn.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll, welcoming you into a exciting episode of Auburn's only student-run drive time morning show on this first day of November 2021. Thank you for spending your Monday morning with us here at Compact Discourse. It's still a bit chilly outside. It's warming up to about 50 degrees as the sun continues to heat up that air outside. So if you haven't left the house yet, be sure to check the weather before you do so and make the most of today. It's a great day for a fresh start here on the first of the month. And it is the first of the month, and I know you got responsibilities on the first of the month, so make sure you take care of all that before you get on with your day. Just get it out of the way. So we were talking about John Boy before the break. John Boy, friend of a John Boy adjacent individual, Trevor Plouffe, former big leaguer. He called his shot a la Babe Ruth back in March, and as Jimmy from John Boy himself says, his entire future is on the line tomorrow night as his prediction of the Atlanta Braves over the Houston Astros in 6 games, which he predicted back at the end of March of this year before the first pitch on opening day was even thrown.
Which seemed crazy a lot of the time early in the season. It seemed like
crazy.
He was crazy.
It seems crazy for most of us. I mean, the Braves were 100-plus games into the season before they got to 500.
Trevor Plouffe knows what he's talking about.
Coach Trev, trust Trev. So, hashtag trust Trev. Braves in 6 on Tuesday evening.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see. Trevor Plouffe's entire future's on the line. So, will the Atlanta Braves hoist the Commissioner's Trophy for the first time since 1995, or will the Houston Astros look to keep this series rolling for one more day as they force even more November baseball and a Game 7 on Wednesday night, winner take all, as the Astros look to redeem themselves for their tarnished 2017 World Series title? Could you hear the cheater chants on television?
I could not.
Wow.
If I had it turned up more, maybe
it
was
pretty loud. Pretty loud.
I'm sure. Oh wow. I mean, what else are you gonna say to the Astros? Really?
There's nothing you can say to these guys.
Hey,
unbelievable.
I still like Altuve. I'll say it.
I'll go. What about Bregman?
I'm not a Bregman fan.
Yeah.
I'm kind of indifferent to Correa, but I do like Altuve. He just seems like a nice guy.
He does seem nice.
He seems like he'd be nice to hang out with.
Unfortunately, he's a cheater.
Look, he's the person on the team that had the least amount of trash can bangs.
He had the most amount of buzzers under his jersey, though.
Has that been confirmed?
No tattoo. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, no comment.
Trust Trev. Braves in 6. This one's coming up later on this week on Tuesday. The Atlanta Braves will be taking on the Houston Astros back in the juice box for this one for Game 6 of this World Series, which is shaped up to be a pretty good one so far.
Has the guy driving the train ever been hit by a ball?
I feel like no. I'm gonna say
you don't like the guys on Top Golf where they're driving by and people are hitting the balls at them. So I'm kind of imagining.
I feel like there's a bigger sample size at Top Golf.
That's fair. Very true.
So Game 6 is coming up. It's gonna be the November 3rd, of course, 7:09 p.m. Central Time. Try to look at probable starters. I don't think they're listed yet, so we'll just wait and see.
Could be a big game.
Yeah, I think
biggest game.
Freed might be up for the Braves, but I don't know. He didn't do great in Game 2. We shall see. It's do or die. Put up or shut up. So they're gonna bring their best.
Charlie Warner's gonna come out in a cast.
Yeah, Acuna's gonna hit a walk-off wearing a boot. It's gonna be great. Yeah, either bring your best or you don't got it. So that's all I got to say about the Braves. We're going to jump right into college football because it was a great weekend of college football, including a potential Game of the Year candidate, if I do say so myself, as Michigan State comes away with the Paul Bunyan Trophy and jumps up to number 5 in the AP poll for the first time since, I want to say, 2015 when they made the playoff. So Sparty is back on the national stage after taking down their in-state foe Michigan, and they have a date with Ohio State coming up for Big Ten East supremacy and potentially not one but 2 trips to Indianapolis as the college football playoff is just around the corner. We're just about a month away from rivalry week, and then at that point, all bets are off when we get over to college football playoff selection committee rumblings. I don't know when the first playoff rankings come out, so we can kind of see what the committee feels about the likes of Cincinnati and all that. So we are gonna do scores. It is time for scores, and we will start off with your Thursday game. Good grief. We will start off with your Thursday game. We talked about this on Uniform Factor. It was Troy wearing those all-white uniforms against Coastal Carolina in the all-black uniforms. I said Troy gave Coastal all they could handle last year, so watch out this year. And all they could handle once again, as Coastal Carolina needs all 4 quarters to take down the Trojans of Troy. They win by just 7. On Saturday, it was an unbelievable offensive performance in Provo as 80 combined points were scored by Virginia and BYU. The Cougars do come away with a victory in that one, 66-49. So Jaron Hall throws for 3 touchdowns and 350 yards in that one. Iowa State is going to have to wait another year for their Big 12 title as they fall in Morgantown as West Virginia scores 14 unanswered in a Big 12 contest. Jarrett Doge goes 30 for 46, 370 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the Nears. San Diego State gets handed their first loss of the year as Fresno State comes to town and serves them up an L, 30-20. Down go the Aztecs. Speaking of losers, SMU, they are a loser now as they are 7-1 on the season. They drop an American contest to Houston. So Houston 7-1 now, 5-0 in the American Conference. Pittsburgh, unfortunately, falls at home to the Hurricanes of Miami. So Kenny Pickett has a great performance. He throws for 500 yards, but comes up short due to the Panthers against the Hurricanes. Baylor is down early against Texas, but they rallied back. They were looking good. Their chances for the Big 12 continue to stay alive as they come back and beat the Longhorns. Oklahoma State keeps things rolling. They beat Kansas 55-3. Wake Forest undefeated again, 45-7. They destroyed the Duke Blue Devils. Mississippi State goes takes care of Kentucky at home. Kentucky ranked, and they lose in a big upset. Notre Dame outlasts North Carolina 44-34. Auburn stops Ole Miss on 4th down 3 times to win 31-20. Iowa gets blown out again 27-7, this time at the hands of Wisconsin. Oregon takes care of business against Colorado 52-29. Michigan State, like I said, beat Michigan. Ohio State comes back late, and they just they out-muscle Penn State for the win in that one, 33-24. Oklahoma, 52-21. They lead 28-7 at half against Texas Tech, who recently fired their coach. Cincinnati, not a lot of style points, but they do get the W against Tulane, who is 1-7. They win 31-12. And then Georgia, number 1 in the country, undefeated still as they take care of Florida in Jacksonville, 34-7, and Bama was on bye. So that is going to round out your top 25 scores. Big surprises this weekend. A few ranked teams lost, including Iowa State, Pittsburgh, and Kentucky, and Iowa. Poor Iowa. Man, they had such a good start, but then they've been kind of destroyed in their last 2 Big Ten games.
The only games I watched this weekend were I caught a bit of the Michigan State-Michigan game and Auburn beating Ole Miss. That's it.
2 good ones to watch, I would say. Like I said, the Michigan State-Michigan game, potentially the game of the year, as that was a game that I think everyone expected to, end like 5-8 in a Big Ten special. But that was a back and forth. Michigan had a big lead. They coughed it up. Michigan State comes back. Kenneth Walker III, keep that name in mind when it comes Heisman time, because he had 23 carries for 197 yards and, count them, 5 touchdowns.
5. I counted them.
Unbelievable performance by KW3. Heisman Watch alert for the Michigan State Spartans, and they are looking to take on Ohio State later on in the season. In fact, that game is on November 20th. They have a game against Purdue, a game against Maryland, 2 very winnable games for the Spartans, and then they're going to end off the season against Ohio State on the 20th, and then on rivalry weekend it will be the Nittany Lions for Michigan State. So if they can win those 2, they will have the Big Ten East completely wrapped up, and they will be heading to Indianapolis to presumably take on, I don't even know at this point, considering Iowa is bad now. So I don't even know who the Michigan State Spartans will be taking on. Let's take a look. Big Ten. At this point, it would be Minnesota, which is
Golden Gophers.
A pretty embarrassing showing from the Big Ten West. The only ranked team in the Big Ten West right now is the number 19 now Iowa Hawkeyes, which I can't believe they didn't drop further. They only dropped 10 spots after getting, just run out of Camp Randall by the Badgers. Meanwhile, the Big Ten East has 3 teams just in the top 10. So a little bit of a power disparity in the old Midwest. So we will see how that develops later on in the season. All right, I mentioned it that Iowa dropped 10 spots and Michigan State's up to number 5. Yes, indeed, it is Monday, so we do have a new AP poll. We will get to that new AP poll, including where Auburn sitting after getting a top 10 win against the Ole Miss Rebels over the weekend. All that and more coming up on the other side of a break as we talk the new AP poll and what else is going on in college football, including notable games coming up next week, as well as notable games that transpired this past week. Do not go anywhere. You're listening to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM.
In Alabama, the recycling industry employs nearly 11,000 men and women. Recycling just 10% more would create an additional 1,400 jobs and $66 million in personal income. To learn about recycling opportunities in your area, contact the East Alabama Recycling Partnership. Recycling works in Alabama. Brought to you by the East Alabama Recycling Partnership, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hi, I'm Harrison Smith. You may know me from my work as Scuba, one of the hosts of the hit award-winning show Nerdcore on WEGL 91.1 FM. But what you may not know about me is that I'm a website enthusiast. That's why I'm here to tell you about WeagleFM.com. It's our hot spot on the web with live broadcast articles and more. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. Tune into your favorite shows at any time with a 24/7 online stream right on the homepage. And don't forget to check out the schedule for our station's full selection of music, sports, and talk shows. For the sports fans, there's articles aplenty covering all of the current events in football, basketball, and beyond. For those music fans, WEGL FM has got you covered. We have album and concert reviews and theme playlists for any mood. We even have live musical performances with WEGL Sessions. There's more than enough content here to keep you procrastinated when you really should be studying for that test. That's right, we know you've been slacking off. Get back to it, lazy. So, no matter what sound you're looking for, we've got it only on WeagleFM.com. That's WEGLFM.com and WEGL 91.1 FM, Auburn.
1 in 5 people in the U.S. have an STD, and many people have no symptoms. Do you know your status? Alabama residents and students attending Alabama colleges and universities can request a free at-home test for chlamydia, gonorrhea, HIV, and syphilis to be mailed right to your door. Go to adph.mybinks, that's binxhealth.com. Again, it's mybinkshealth.com. The kit is free and confidential. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Public Health, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
It's the top of the hour, about 9 a.m., and you're still listening to WEGL 91.1 FM. Well, you made it this far. Go get yourself a cup of coffee. You've earned it.
I really need a cup of joe, and if I don't get one, I think I might blow a gasket, and it's not a pretty sight.
We'll be right back in a few minutes with the second half of the show. Thank you so much for listening to Compact Discourse.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers train to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Tossing food wrappers and soda cups can be expensive. That $7.99 value meal you threw out the window could cost you $500 in fines. And if you don't learn your lesson the first time, a second fine will cost you $1,000. Put garbage in its place. Throw away your trash, not your cash. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Transportation, Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
You can beat your toughest opponent. You can beat your best time in the mile. You can beat that old largemouth bass. But one thing you should never try and beat is a train. If a train is approaching, don't risk your life trying to beat it, because beating the train is a deadly game. Drive safe, Alabama. Sponsored by ALDOT, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
All across the nation, we are here for our communities.
We're doing our part to get supplies where it's needed in order to fight COVID-19 together.
It feels good to be out there to assist our community.
I would like our friends and family to know that your National Guardsmen are always ready and always there.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
91.1 WEGL FM, Auburn University.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse. Good morning, Auburn. How are we doing this fine Monday morning? This is a lovely autumn day on this first day of November. Welcoming you into the show today. As always, I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll on a Monday morning. Thank you for choosing to spend your Monday morning with us. As always, if you'd like to, you can follow us on Twitter at CDiscAU. That is at CDISCAU. If you would like updates on what we're about to talk about on the show, we'll try to get those tweets coming out more often. We've also got great recaps of what we've talked about on the show, links to the podcast, fun questions we can posit to you, as well as any opinion you would like to get on the show, including if you have an opinion about the World Series or the new AP poll we're about to talk about, or anything else that comes up on the show. We'd love to hear from you at CDiscAU. That is at CDISCAU on Twitter. Just send us a quick tweet, and I would love to read it off on the show. We love the feedback, so keep that coming, and we will continue to provide you with Auburn's only student-run morning television and radio show. That's right. So we'll keep it right here for another hour. I'm going to have to get out of here at 9:15 to take care of something, but you will be in good hands, as station manager Grayson Moyer is waiting in the wings to have a conversation with Davis here in a little bit. But until we get to that point, we will be talking about the new AP, Associated Press, College Football Top 25, hot off the presses. This is a new one, and we'll start off with numbers, let's see, just the top 30. Minnesota is receiving votes, but they are not yet in the poll. They are, of course, leading the Big Ten West, like I said. Arkansas and Mississippi State are both receiving votes, so two SEC West teams are trying to break into the poll. Wisconsin, after taking down Iowa, is receiving votes. North Carolina State, as well as the ACC, continues to struggle to produce a good team, except for one, which we will get to later on in the poll. In the poll. And Pittsburgh is also looking to get back into the poll after suffering just a devastating loss to Miami up in Heinz Field on Saturday. All right, number 25 is the Fresno State Bulldogs. They are 7-2 out of the Mountain West. They were unranked last week, but after taking down the Aztecs of San Diego State, they are now ranked, as well as the Louisiana Lafayette Racing Cajuns out of the Sun Belt. They are 7-1. Billy Napier's squad is now ranked number 24. SMU, after losing to Houston, is now number 19. They drop 4 spots. Penn State, after losing to Ohio State, is now ranked 22. They are sitting at 5-3. Coastal Carolina has jumped up 3 spots after, I think by default, as teams in front of them all lost, and Coastal Carolina got their job done over the weekend. They're 7-1. Houston, after defeating SMU, is now 7-1 and ranked number 20, jumping all the way to number 20 in the poll after being unranked last week. It is Iowa out of the Big Ten. They are ranked number 19 now, 6-2. Kentucky, after suffering a bad loss on the road to Mississippi State, they are now ranked number 18. They dropped 6 spots from number 12 out of the SEC is Kentucky. BYU, after hanging 66 on Virginia, they jump 8 spots up to number 17. They have a 7-2 record on the year. UTSA continues to make their push up the poll. They jump 7 spots up to number 16. The Roadrunners are 8-0 for the first time in program history, and they are ranked number 16 in the country. All right, we got the Ole Miss Rebels. Running Rebels drop 5 spots down to number 15 after losing to Auburn in Jordan-Hare Stadium on Saturday. That is their second conference loss. Their other conference loss was to Alabama. 6-2 are the Ole Miss Rebels now. Number 14, the Baylor Bears. They jumped 2 spots up. They are 7-1. The Baylor Bears defeated Texas on Saturday. A&M jumps up 1 spot. They are now ranked number 13 in the land, as they were 14 last week. The Auburn Tigers jump up 6 spots to number 12. They were ranked 18 last week, so number 12 playing number 13 this upcoming weekend in College Station. Auburn and A&M both 6-2. Oklahoma State is 7-1. Their 1 loss to Iowa State. They are ranked number 11 now after being ranked number 15 last week. For the first time ever, Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons out of the ACC, are 8-0 and are ranked in the top 10 in the AP poll. So the number 13 Demon Deacons are now the number 10 Demon Deacons, and they are in the top 10 for the first time ever. And then we'll jump into the top 10 now, including 3 Big Ten East teams. The first one being Michigan. They dropped 3 spots after losing to the Spartans over the weekend. They are now 7-1. Notre Dame takes care of business against North Carolina. They jump 3 spots up to number 8. Go the Fighting Irish 7-1 now. Oregon is 7-1 as well. They take care of business against Colorado to keep their spot at number 7. And then now we'll move into the real playoff implication teams. Ohio State is 7-1 at number 6. Michigan State is 8-0. They jump from number 8 all the way up to number 5. And then your 4 playoff teams are Oklahoma at number 4, Alabama still at number 3, Cincinnati still at number 2, and Georgia still at number 1. So your playoff picture unchanged week to week, but the next 4 out has seen a lot of movement as Michigan State gets bumped up to 5 and Michigan gets bumped down to 9. And that is your new AP poll. Looking a little different than a lot of people expected coming into the year, including, 3 potential playoff teams coming out of one division in the Big Ten, as well as the SEC West showing out as well as Auburn, Ole Miss, A&M, and Alabama are ranked in the top 15. And that's your new AP poll.
Boom.
Pretty excited to see how this one shakes out. It's very interesting to not have like a super clear playoff picture down the stretch, I feel like it's been pretty cut and dry every year, except for maybe 2014 for the past little while. But, it's going to be a lot of excitement coming up this as we get into these crunch time games, especially rivalry week and championship weekend will be big for determining playoff spots. So I'm hoping we get a lot of intrigue and we get an interesting playoff this year. Wouldn't Wake Forest in the playoff be something?
I don't get how Wake Forest has turned around so quick. Or how were they last year? I didn't really even pay attention to the Demon Deacons.
Wake Forest
Because
football.
Wake Forest football. That's why I didn't pay attention to them.
I mean, fair enough. Let's see. They were 8-5. No, they were 4-5.
Okay, never mind.
And they lost the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Interesting.
You can't get much lower than that. They've been 8-5, 7-6, 8-5, and 7-6 under Dave Clawson in the past 5 years. So respectable, but no top 10.
There's the only thing I really know about Wake Forest is that Chris Paul went there. Fun fact.
I know they have a scary mascot that rides a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah, they do. Tim Duncan also went to Wake Forest, for the record.
Tim Duncan and Chris Paul?
And Ish Smith and Jeff Teague, among others. But the Chris Paul's and Tim Duncan are the biggest ones. Two Hall of Famers.
2 Hall of Famers, even.
Boom.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for the AP poll chat. We're going to head to a quick break so we can keep the show rolling. We'll be back in just a little bit with some more Compact Discourse. I hope you're having a great Monday morning, and we thank you for spending your Monday morning with us here on Auburn's only student-run drive time morning show, Auburn's favorite morning show even. It's Compact Discourse. Compact Discourse, we'll be back in about 2 minutes with some more of the show, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back to talk more sports, news, weather, all things fun and exciting here on this first day of November. I'm Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll. We got Grayson Moyer coming up on the show just a little bit, so don't go anywhere.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I improved my credit score.
You're kidding, right?
No.
How are we supposed to be the bad boys of electro-synth pop if you're out there being responsible? The band is about to be discovered. This is our year.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while now.
You think anyone in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was worried about their credit score?
I never really thought that
Of course they weren't. Rock stars aren't supposed to think about that kind of stuff. We're supposed to think about how many guitars we've smashed, write aggressively sensitive power ballads, start questionable fashion trends, tragically break up and blame creative differences.
All right. I thought maybe it was time to take control of my finances, you know? Start using a budget, get out of debt, set some goals.
A budget? Debt? Set some goals? Listen, I knew that we'd have our creative differences, but I was hoping they'd involve a little more scandal.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back into the show. Might sound a little different here because Jack is a little busy at the moment. Never thought you'd hear me host it before, did you, Grayson?
No,
Grayson's
I didn't.
in here with
I
us,
mean,
by the way.
I'm genuinely worried now that Jack has handed us the keys to WEGL's premier morning show.
We can run it off the air right now.
Yeah.
If we're not careful.
We could cause a lot of problems, especially me, the head of this station.
What have you been up to today, Grayson?
Not a ton. I went running this morning at the gym, which I haven't done in a very long time, but it's that time of year again where we undertake personal challenges for the month of November. What have you been up to?
I woke up at 7 because I didn't think we were actually gonna have the show today, to be honest. 'Cause
Yeah,
they were
I
coming
also
back
thought
from
that.
Atlanta. They got home at like 2:30, which I was like, I thought they were gonna want to sleep in, but Jack said we're doing it. I texted them last night after the game. They said we're doing it, so I was like, okay. I woke up at 7 and I just kind of laid there. I took a shower last night, so I didn't have to take one this morning necessarily. So I just laid there for like 30 minutes. And almost fell back asleep on accident. So I might have missed the show inadvertently, but I'm here.
Wow.
We made it.
You got to get back on the 5 a.m. club, man. It's worth it. I'm telling you, it's worth it.
I gotta start going to sleep earlier for that.
I've definitely been known to slack on it, but it has generally made my life a lot better. You've got to get in on it.
I'm thinking about going to the 6 a.m. club and then
That's
working my way up to earlier and earlier.
I think the key to it is just to have something to do in the morning.
Yes.
Like, that's my problem with it. Whenever I'm slacking on it, it's like, I could just go back to bed and there would be no consequence at all for this. if I just, sleep a little longer.
The only thing I could really do if I woke up early is like play video games. But I would say make breakfast, but I don't have like any food in my apartment right now.
You should come with me. You should start working out in the morning.
Ugh.
It'll be fun.
I'm supposed to, but I don't know. I've fallen off the wagon recently.
So tell me about your challenges for November, because we haven't introduced this for the past 3 years or so. Our friend group as a whole has basically been setting ourselves challenges for the month of November. Most of them are self-improvement. Some of them are silly. Like one of mine is I'm wearing all black for the month.
Mm-hmm. Might be able to see it.
Yeah, you can see it a little bit. You can't see my pants.
We'll trust you on that one.
But everybody has a list of between 5 and 10 that they're doing for the entire month.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8.
Okay, so tell me about your hardest one. Tell me about your easiest one.
So oh goodness, what is my hardest one? Probably to go to the gym, because my schedule is actually is set up. My only really free days are Wednesday, Friday. Monday I'm busy all the way through 8. Tuesday and Thursday I'm busy from 9:30 all the way to 5. So I've kind of set myself up to not have really time to go to the gym. I mean, that's no excuse. I do have time to go to the gym late at night or early in the morning, but I don't like doing either of those. But I'll figure it out. My easiest one's probably just keeping my apartment clean. Just, make your bed, fold your laundry. I don't even remember if I made my bed today or not, so maybe I might have already misstepped on that one.
Look, it's not about being perfect during the month. It's about pushing yourself to do better. I think my easiest one is going to be read a book. I can knock that out. I just have to do it.
I got a book in my bag right now.
Read a book is a very common challenge among the group.
What's going to be your first book? Have you decided?
I don't know. I haven't even picked it out. I committed to that challenge last minute. Honestly, my hardest one is going to be between 15 miles running a week, which is not that bad if you run regularly, but I haven't run regularly in months. And it's no fast food or delivery, no place that doesn't have a waiter.
I also have that one. The no drive-thrus is what I've written it as.
I don't know. I waste so much money doing that, not to cry restaurants, but it's usually terrible for me, and I don't need it.
Hey, I'm in the same group, so. But I have heard that Au Bon Pain is allowed.
Yeah, I'm willing to make an exception for ABP.
So ABP, I'm gonna go get breakfast after the show. That's probably gonna be one of my only meals of the day.
I think that's gonna be, at least for me, and everybody has their own personal exception list. I think that's gonna be my only on-campus exception.
Yeah, I think that's
ABP just because I buy coffee there and sometimes a breakfast sandwich.
Chick-fil-A is not allowed, even though this one doesn't have a drive-thru, because all the other ones
it's
do
fast
have
food
a drive-thru.
still.
Yeah.
Same bit.
The thing is, for me, one of my things is only water. Y'all have water and black coffee on yours, but I don't drink coffee.
You're not a caffeinated person in general.
I don't drink caffeine very often. I mean, I drink sweet tea, and that's really it. But I've no more sweet tea this month, only water. And I don't drink carbonated drinks anyway, so just really only water, which is going to be difficult for me because I go to Au Bon Pain and get their sweet tea with a croissant, because their sweet tea is really good. So I'm going to have to get water, I guess,
you'd be really surprised how fast you can get used to it. That was my default for a long time when I first got into college. I just didn't buy soda for myself. Until
soda just isn't that good to me anymore.
Well, it's
I like it. It's just the carbonation.
I don't
really
want
like
one every day.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When I was a kid, I was really excited because my parents were like, "Okay, you can have one can a day," and I was always really excited for that one can. But now it's just I mean, I'll get it if I'm at a restaurant or something, but it's not really what I'm fiending for.
Yeah, it makes me burp a lot. So that's the big downside for me. They taste good. I really like Barks root beer. It tastes really good to me, but the carbonation is just not really my style anymore. Same with sparkling water.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of
I've never been a sparkling water person.
When I went to Germany sophomore year of high school, that's that was the main thing. I didn't realize that's I remember I bought a water one time. I drank. I was like, what is happening what's happening in my mouth right now? And they also don't ice their water, which is something else I wasn't ready for.
They're very much a low ice thing, which honestly I can get behind, especially if you're at a soda machine at a fast food restaurant, which we're not. It's already cold coming out the tap.
Yeah, but they were getting it right out the tap, and it was tepid, which I can drink. You wake up in the middle of the night, you drink your water. It's not cold, obviously. I don't mind that, but if I'm pouring myself a glass of water, I want it to be cold.
I think you should challenge yourself to try to do lukewarm water.
I don't know if I can.
It's
just not as refreshing.
Once you get adjusted to it, I think it's better, honestly. I think it's better. If I'm way overheated, cold, but I feel like
there's
something to be said for
think you put the ice in the water, so you have cold water, and then you drink all your water and then the ice melts. You have more water. It's a win-win. So you have the little sip of water.
I don't know that I call that a win-win.
Little bit right there.
The only exception I make is I've got a big filter jug in my fridge that I just keep filled with water.
If it's like already cold, I don't feel a need to put ice in it. But if I'm getting out the sink, which I do a lot of the time because I'm too lazy to fill up my Brita filter, maybe that should be add that to my keep my apartment clean.
Fill your Brita filter.
Fill my because I have a pitcher in my fridge and I have the filter right beside it. I just fill up the pitcher and put it in the fridge and don't even touch the filter.
So have you been a part of this challenge all 3 years?
This is my second year.
Okay. How'd you do last year? How'd you fare? Do you remember what your hardest challenge was then?
I think it was the wear one. I remember I did the wear one shoes, which I wasn't a fan of.
One pair of shoes.
Yeah. One pair of shoes. Because I have quite a few pairs of shoes. Not like a ton, but I have I'd say maybe 7, which is above average for most people, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say that.
And I like to switch through them a lot. I'm wearing some black shoes today. That one was difficult for me. I don't really remember my other ones, but I did fail. I'll just say that.
I failed as well. I think I had a couple challenges that really caused me some problems. The big one, honestly, and this is a really common one, delete your biggest time waster. Mine at the time, and frankly still is TikTok. And I really wanted TikTok back. I got bored really fast.
I didn't do that because I want to keep TikTok.
Yeah, I think I gave myself a better shot at it this month because I deleted it last week instead of waiting for the challenge to start. So I'm already sort of off it by this point. I don't know. The fact that I even feel that way about it makes me feel like I shouldn't have it on my phone.
That's fair, but I've been going on social media a lot recently because Instagram's just kind of boring to me now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The Explore page is just terrible for my Explore page is just Marvel memes that I don't look at for some reason. I get them even though I don't look at them. I don't really enjoy them. Maybe I'll look like a Spider-Man thing, be like, oh, that's cool, and that's it. But honestly, I can't remember any of my other ones from last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the big one. It's a lot of the same template. Last year was a much more prescribed pool of rules. Yeah. This year, it's much more individual, which I think is a good change.
There's a council.
Yeah, the council of everybody else sort of gets to approve or critique your rules. But I think that's a good thing that it's individual and we have our individual exceptions to it.
It's more personalized this time.
Yeah. It makes it feel much more on track to be a self-improvement thing than, you're competing or something like that. That was also a big condition last year. If you failed, you had to leave the group chat that we were all in. And I don't think we're enforcing that nearly as harshly this year.
If you trip up, you're allowed to you can
atone.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. You can ask for forgiveness. You can come back if you. But I think isn't it the rule you mess up, but you have to do something. You have to give something else up for a week or so or something like that.
I think the general rule of thumb is putting forth a genuine effort to meet the challenge. As long as you are trying, even if you don't quite hit it, if you are putting in the effort to make it happen and it just doesn't happen, then that's okay. If you just straight up decide not to do it, then you can put. I think we will allow someone to switch out a challenge, to do something else approved by the council. So if halfway through the month you realize something's just not working for you or it's just taking up too much time, then we can add something else on to take its place that, maybe fits you differently. I don't know what that would be yet because it's, we're a day in. It hasn't happened. But, we'll find out.
What are your other challenges?
God, let me pull up the list. I have a lot because mine are...
There's a lot of overlap between everybody.
Well, yeah.
A few overlap ones.
It's the same general template. Yeah. We put out sort of a pool and we're customized based on this. So mine's black coffee and water only. Delete your biggest time waster. 15 miles a week. No fast food delivery. Only black fits. Journal. Read a book. One creative project per week.
I also have the one creative project per week.
That last one is brand new this year. That was thought up by Chris Tobias. I think that's a really cool rule.
Speaking of Chris Tobias, I think Chris and I might be collaborating on our weekly endeavor.
I like that idea.
We were bouncing off each other yesterday on the way to flag football. Might have accidentally started an episode of Seinfeld we could write.
So do you think you're shooting for? Are you trying to hit one finished episode? Or are you trying to hit a number of pages?
I feel like if we make a concerted, if we get the ball rolling at least, that's good enough for me. But I wouldn't mind.
I don't think one creative project. I don't think you have to finish.
Yeah,
that shouldn't be the goal.
If you start a painting, you're not. It's not like an artist might not finish in 1 week, but I mean that's a creative endeavor for that week,
Right.
And they could finish it the next week, so on.
We want it to be a challenge. We don't want you to be, hurting yourself.
Yeah, because I also have to read a book, also have to go to the gym.
Reading a book for a whole month is not hard.
But think about it. So
there's Thanksgiving break in there.
So I have to go to Chris's, write the endeavor, go home, read. I have to learn one of mine is make a real effort to learn a new language.
Did you decide your language?
The thing is with me, so I've already learned a lot of Spanish. And I'm taking Spanish, so that's one of the language I'm learning. That's not in the challenge though. But the thing is with me, because I have these, I use the language app, and I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna start learning French this week, and I'll start to be like, this sucks. I'm gonna start another language, because the thing is I used to learn Italian, but it was so close to Spanish in a few ways that I'd start getting them mixed up in my brain when I'd start saying how I'd pronounce words and stuff. So I had to stop doing Italian. I put it on the back burner because I would mess myself up. I think it might be German because Chris speaks German, so maybe we can help each other there, or he can help me more But I really do want to learn Arabic. But that's going to be very difficult.
That's a hard starting point from an app.
So I'm not going to do that one. I'd love to do it one day, though.
All right. I like that.
Well, you got anything else you want to say? It's about 9:29. Might as well hit a commercial break, see how Jack's doing in his meeting.
Yeah, poor Jack has to be an adult. No, I'm overall happy with what we've done here. I'm ready for the challenge. I think the rest of the month is going to be very fruitful.
All right. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. We'll figure out what we're going to talk about over the break. We'll be right back.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, it helped me pay for my house.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
There are 250 miles of trails in Alabama state parks. That's 250 miles for you to hike, bike, and explore. And it's something we want to share with future generations. Help us improve these trails by becoming a partner in the Alabama State Parks Trail Program. To learn more about the importance of outdoor recreation and how you can help with the development and management of this new trail program, visit alapark.com or call 800-ALAPARK. Sponsored by the Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Check out my new time machine.
Does it work?
Hit the button.
Hey, it's Napoleon.
Oui. Check out the future.
Hey, you have a nice house. Why don't I?
You didn't save any money, buddy.
If only there was a way I could go back in time and fix that.
Save something for the future. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad.
How can we make Alabama a more beautiful state? By keeping our roads, highways, schools, and communities litter-free. It doesn't take much, but to think before you act. So what does the next generation say?
Pick it up, man. Take pride in your school. Did you just litter? Clean it up, dude.
How can you make a difference? Adopt a mile. Join the Alabama Clean Campus program or join in the Spring Cleanup or Alabama Coastal Cleanup. And remember,
Don't drop it on Alabama.
This message by People Against a Littered State, the ABA, ALDOT, and this station.
WEGL.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Davis Carroll and Grayson Moyer. Hope you had fun hanging out with them last segment. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part.
What did we talk about? I'm excited.
It was mostly just the November challenge.
Oh, I enjoyed the November challenge.
We all enjoyed the November.
If you want to give us a rundown on yours,
just discuss your
feel free.
challenges.
I'm very excited to work on bettering myself this November. I'm planning on doing my best to run 45 miles across the stretch of these 30 days, which I think is pretty attainable. My normal route's like 4 miles, and if I did that every day, that's like 120 miles. So I can do like a quarter of that pretty easily, I think. Run every 3 days. I'm also the rule is called no drive-throughs, but what that means is no restaurants with a drive-through. So any restaurant with a drive-through is out for November. It's gonna force me to cook a lot more and make better food decisions. I'm not even gonna try to get around it by trying to find a McDonald's without a drive-through.
Good idea.
So
we were talking about that with the on-campus Chick-fil-A not being allowed because they usually have a drive-through.
I mean, yeah, it's not in the spirit of the challenge.
Correct.
So, but that also rules out places like Jersey Mike's. So it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be a difficult month.
Gonna be a journey.
That's the point.
Yeah, it's gonna be a change from. But that's the. I'm also drinking only water and coffee, which was one of the original rules from way back in the day. I needed to stop drinking soda. So, and this is the best way to do it for me. It's much easier for me to stop something completely than to try to wean myself off of it or enjoy moderation.
Yeah.
So, do you have that same personality? Is that because that idea was put into my head by a podcast I listened to a while back, and I was like, I think I agree. I think it's easier for me to quit something 100% than try to go cold turkey rather than try to practice moderation.
I think for the most part, my issue is whenever I especially for soda, if I buy like a 12-pack, even though I don't even really like soda that much, I am going to finish that 12-pack no matter what. I'm going to finish it probably that week. Like, it's a matter of not having access to it. Because once I don't have access, I don't miss it. That's the thing.
Yeah, a lot of it is, living on your own, you can control what's in the house. So, if there's no yogurt-covered pretzels in the house, you don't eat yogurt-covered pretzels.
Yeah, but when there are in the house, that's all you want to do.
Yeah.
But
I have to consume yogurt-covered pretzels.
Yeah, but it's if you quit completely, it's way easier to moderate it because, you don't have to worry about it. It's just not there. And you don't miss it when you don't have it, but you crave it when you do have it.
That is true. And that is true for most things. I think that's true for sweet things, like Little Debbie cakes. I don't think I've bought a Little Debbie cake. I may have bought a moon pie in the past 2 years, but those are best bought in packs of one.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a box of Little Debbie's in the house because you're just gonna eat them.
I've never purchased Cheez-Its for myself since I entered college.
That's not good for anybody.
Not ever.
I have. So
I will finish that entire
stronger
box.
man than me.
My family buys them, and when I'm at their house, it's just like, oh man, I could go for a Cheez-It right now.
Yeah, or 1,000.
Yeah, or I could finish the box of Cheez-Its right now.
Or I could become 2% Cheez-Its.
I am become Cheez-It, destroyer of worlds.
Destroyer of baked snack cracker. I'm also going to be practicing a daily journal. I got a cute moleskin journal at the Auburn bookstore, the oil gas. What's that place called? Oil and gas company, the one downtown.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What? Auburn. It's the one. It's the one downtown.
It's the one.
What? The oil and whatever.
I am pretty excited about the journal requirement.
So I mean, it's not going to be anything big, but I'm going to try to write down something I learned every day and just reflect on the day. Because if you don't reflect on the day, you can lose it forever. So
I used to audio journal a lot, and I think that was relatively productive. But just in the fact that I didn't have to write stuff down, and it was just in the memo app on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I did lose all of those when I got a new phone, which also felt somewhat productive. But I don't know. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to bother about writing. I'm just going to set a phone down on a table and start talking to myself.
Good. It's easier to talk than write, for me at least.
Yeah.
That's why I work in radio.
That's why we all work in radio.
They're all Weezer. I'm also going to turn Snapchat notifications off. I did that last night, and that's my biggest app that I use, so hopefully I'll cut down on my screen time by doing that. In fact, I know I will because I already have, because it's just one extra step to get into the app, and that's already too much of a barrier of entry for me. So Snapchat will be going down in use. Hopefully phone use will follow suit. Hopefully I don't find something to fill that hole up. I'm also going to read a book cover to cover. I'm going to try to do a words on paper book, but I might have to punt back to audiobook if I get too antsy.
I'll let you borrow my Kindle. It'll be even more convenient.
It's not the
and it's lit
it's not
up.
the book I have the problem with. It's just the sitting still, and I need a little more stimulation than that.
I think audiobooks count. Like maybe the experience is a little bit less, but
I mean,
people give audiobooks a lot of crap that they don't deserve.
I read a lot of audiobooks just on a normal month, so I'd like to challenge myself to read a real book. I'm gonna enjoy quite a few audiobooks this month, especially if I follow up with the running stuff, because that's gonna be an hour a day that I need audio entertainment.
Are you a music runner at all?
I have a hard time because I have a very curated playlist of like 80 beats per minute songs that I can listen to, but I get tired of those songs pretty quickly. So
I can't do songs at all working out because the problem with being in band for like 10 years is that you start counting.
Oh my.
And if I know exactly how long I've been running based on the number of beats that have gone by in the song, it makes it feel like an eternity.
Yeah.
So it has to be something spoken word just in my ears.
I have to really regulate my breathing, and if I can't sync that up with music, then it's a fool's errand trying to keep up.
Right.
I either wind up out of breath or running off beat.
Davis, what's your stance on that? You've been sort of quiet over there.
I've been trying to pay this e-bill, and I'm more confused than I was when I started. I listen to music when I work out.
Davis, I will say that a great song to run to is "Good Day" by Ice Cube. Perfect beats per minute.
Today was a good day.
Yeah, it's a good day every time you run listening to Ice Cube as well. And then my final rule is just try to wake up earlier. I did that today. I woke up earlier, not early, and I think you can blame me because I didn't get head on pillow till about 3 a.m. this morning due to unforeseen baseball circumstances. But you know what? It felt good. It felt good to kind of chill out in the studio before the show, send a little tweet, got people excited about the show. Got my coffee before the show instead of during. So I'm excited to wake up earlier, especially with the sunrise being a little bit later, to kind of maybe get a little sunrise action in the morning. I'm pretty excited about that.
I love the sunrise, especially around here. If I get into the rec when it opens, by the time I'm done, having worked out, showered all the time, and probably going back to your place, the sun is just coming up as I'm walking out, and it's the coolest thing to just be that early in the day and feel like you have so much time ahead of you. Like, I feel like I can get 50,000 things done now that I've just been up.
It really
doing
does.
Stuff since that early.
Yeah. Once you get up early, you realize how long the day really is, and you realize how much of the day you've been wasting. These many years you've been sleeping in to the ripe old hour of 8 a.m. So it really puts things in perspective. I feel like I got the whole world in front of me when I see the sunrise. So yeah, I mean I think it's a good thing to do on the first of any month, but I feel like the fact that we can all come together, break bread around November, and get through it together. I feel like it's a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of people actually recently trying to on the first of the month kind of making just not even challenges, but just things you want to do better. And I think we are given the benefit thanks to the Gregorian calendar of having 12 reset days a year. So today is as good a day as any to hit the reset button on life, if whether it be a big thing or a small thing, and try to work on improving yourself and enjoy the challenge, because without challenge, what's the point?
Right.
It's a challenge, and don't try to cheat.
Yeah.
Enjoy, relish in the adversity.
I used to be like super cynical about New Year's resolutions. That was my big I'm an angsty teenager thing of, oh, these are stupid because they're this is just an arbitrary day. You can do this anytime. Like, just improve yourself. Like, shut up.
Shut up.
But
myself.
also, like, you make a good point that we get 12 reset days a year, and like they are arbitrary. But like, just because it's arbitrary doesn't mean it's dumb.
Yeah, I mean, everything's arbitrary.
You can pick that for yourself and set that standard and still, improve. Lord knows I wasn't improving when I was being all cynical about that. But I don't know. I like that framework of it. I think that's cool. I think that's really cool.
I'm also registering for classes for my final semester here at Old API, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm actually, if I seem a little bit aloof, that's because I register for classes at 10 a.m. So I'm trying to get my Tiger scheduler all my ducks in a row. Yeah, I got my CRNs right here in my shopping cart. So
how many hours do you have to take? I mean, 12 minimum.
But that's 12. Yeah.
I'd have to fire you if it was less than 12.
Your schedule looks crazy over there.
Well, it's just on Tuesday and Thursday. You never done this before?
No.
It just looks. I mean,
normal students can't do that.
The old Tuesday Thursday stack.
I'm not a big fan.
This is,
of
I
that.
think, my 4th semester of doing Tuesday Thursday stack, and I love it.
Tuesday Thursday stack would make me want to like run my car.
It's
off
like
the
going
road.
back to elementary school.
Well, I mean, my Tuesday Thursdays are
That's
stacked.
the worst.
I only have a class at 11 on Wednesday, Friday. So I guess I kind of did the Tuesday Thursday stack over here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've always been a big proponent of gap around lunch, so that you can like eat lunch. Or in my case, I have WEGL, so come hang out in the bullpen and eat lunch, and then
come be productive.
Yeah, sit with your friends in the workspace, and then go back to class. But I don't know. I try to front load in the morning. I won't say I'm a morning person, but I am effective in the mornings.
Yeah, I force myself to be a morning person because I think I'm a no time person, and I think I'm just more of a morning person. I just have to make it happen in the morning, or it's not happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I do have a hard time studying if it's not dark outside.
Oh
just
yeah,
mentally.
no. Homework happens at 8
like,
p.m. or later.
It's not dark. I got time. All right. Davis, I take it you didn't do the weather because I didn't tell you to, so that's on me. But it was the bottom of the hour. Now it's 9:43, so we are going to hit your weather real quick before we head to a break. It is 56 degrees and sunny here on the plains. It has warmed up quite a bit since we started the show this morning, so expect that to keep going up to the high of 71 of today as the sun continues to come out and warm us up here. Clear skies today, so don't keep that raincoat at home, but do bundle up if you are coming out on campus today, because as soon as that sun sets at about 5:50 p.m. tonight, it is going to get cold once again. So if you're enjoying some outdoor sporting activities this evening, please keep in mind that the sun will be setting at 5:50, at which point it will get very cold. So 55 degrees is your evening temp, 51 is your overnight temp. We've got 6-mile-an-hour winds coming in from the north to the south, so be advised and bundle up, wear a winter hat and gloves if you're riding a bike around like I am. And that's going to do it for your Auburn weather update. And with that, we're going to head to a quick break. If you want more weather updates throughout the day, keep it right here on WEGL 91.1 FM at the top of every hour. We got your weather minutes, so you know what? We're just a great place to be all day long on a Monday like today. Plenty of good shows coming up on WEGL. We got plenty to get to on Compact Discourse as well as we come back for one more segment as we kick off your November with a hot start this Monday morning. Call in at 334-844-9345. You got something to say to us, or tweet at us at CDiscAU. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with the final segment of the show. I'm Jack Harjourn alongside Grayson Moyer and Davis Carroll, wishing you a great Monday morning, and we will be back in about 2 minutes with the final segment of the show.
These are the moments you remember.
Auburn wins!
These are the sounds you celebrate.
Fastball driven. Deep left center field. David Ross, you have company.
Whether it's the stadium, the arena, or the ballpark.
Auburn 75. Kentucky 70. I think I'll storm the court. There goes Davis. Oh my God.
Your home for Auburn sports is the Auburn Sports Network.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Here's farmer and landowner John Prue.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety campaign.
Switch.
Welcome back to Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I am your host, Jack Hart, joined alongside Grayson Moyer and Davis Carroll on this Monday morning, on this first day of the 11th month of the 2021st year of the Gregorian calendar here in Auburn, Alabama. We are broadcasting live from the Bradley Basin WEGL studios. I am your host, Jack Hart, once again welcoming you into this final 12 minutes of Compact Discourse, although we might finish early so I can register for classes. I would like to graduate.
Wouldn't we all?
Yes, that's the dream. That's why we're here. We're not just here to do the radio. Grayson, I noticed you're in all black today.
That's one of my challenges. We've discussed this at this point when you weren't here.
So
I will be in all black for the rest of the month.
I am excited for you to continue this journey.
I'm kind of curious how long it's going to take our advisor Britt to notice. I know he doesn't listen to this show.
Yeah, we can say anything.
But we meet once a week formally, and I'm wondering how long it's going to take him to call me out on it.
Hey man, is it laundry day again?
Hey man, you golf now? That's weird. I don't know. I'm excited.
Speaking of golf, we did have an awesome Halloween costume worn by fellow WEGL member Jacob Hillman. He went as Tiger Woods in the Victory Sunday red. So and it did get noticed by a notable Tiger Woods fan page on Twitter. So that was pretty exciting to see. And that was my segue into talking about Halloween costumes. I hope everyone had a happy Halloween. Davis, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it not Dia de los Muertos?
Is that on Halloween?
I believe that's Halloween, today, November 1st.
Let me see.
Resident Hispanic Cultural Ambassador.
It is.
Davis.
Dia de los Muertos is today and ends tomorrow.
It's also my mom's birthday.
I've seen Coco so many times. I can give you a rundown on it.
You clearly haven't seen Scooby-Doo and the Monster of Mexico.
Oh, I have.
Clearly, you haven't seen it enough
to
know when Dia de los Muertos is. But costumes were abound all weekend long. I saw a lot, even in the wee hours of the morning when I was driving in back to Auburn this morning. But we saw some pretty good ones at the football game on Saturday. Notable ones, I think, were probably the hot dog costume. That's always a classic. I enjoy the hot dog costume. It has very high comedic value for effort. That's a very high ratio. There was also a whole cavalcade. There was some good group costumes. There were 4 sharks, I believe, like Katy Perry style Super Bowl show sharks. That's a great costume. The monks. That's always a good costume. If you can get a bunch of guys together to be
monks.
To be Father Friars, yes, San Diego Padre monks. Or there was even the Chester Cheetahs, or the Chester's Cheetah, depending on who you ask. But
what's your issue with the plural of Chester's?
Why would it be Chester's plural, not Cheetah plural?
I don't know.
Because there's not multiple Chesters and one Cheetah. It's multiple Chester Cheetahs.
But Davis, have you considered that it's funny?
Attorneys General.
Yes, correct.
Mothers-in-law.
There are multiple.
Whatever.
There are multiple Chesters.
They're all cheetahs.
They're
different
all
Chesters.
Weezer.
They are all Weezer, as you say.
There was also Steve from Blue's Clues in attendance on Saturday.
And he had his notebook.
He had his magic notebook.
It was awesome.
So there was also Mandalorian. This is the way.
Yes.
With a little baby Yoda. Notable, in fact, as Auburn was swag surfing away the evening, the players ran over to the student section. So Kobe McLean unmasked the Mandalorian and
put it on.
It
was awesome.
And it was, man.
There are a lot of good moments like that in a Halloween game where it's just a little sillier than usual. And especially because we win.
We really can't say enough about the atmosphere on Saturday. I was really proud of the student section. It was cold, like we predicted. So the orange out was not 100%, which is fine. I think people hedged on dressing warm over dressing orange. And I think that was the correct decision because it's more important to be there than to look cool.
Yep.
But I think we looked cool anyway because the orange lights were super cool. I think that was the first night game where we've had full capacity and gotten to show off the LEDs all at once. So
I believe so.
That was it's so cool. Having the LEDs flip on and off after a touchdown or having them go orange, or the fourth quarter video, which I've been looking forward to see us at a night game ever since Akron. So it lived up to and exceeded expectations. I'm really excited for Mississippi State. I think that'll be an even crazier atmosphere if we can get another night game in 2 weeks.
I couldn't see it very well. Were there like fireworks?
Yes.
As well, or like
there were
more than
fireworks
once
after every touchdown, I believe.
Oh wow!
I don't know. It was at the beginning and then at halftime or before the fourth quarter they played them again.
The fourth quarter video. Yes, I'm confusing it with the Braves.
My issue is that during football games, I can only ever really see what's shown on the video board, and they usually don't point the cameras directly at it. So,
but you can hear everything, right?
For the most part. I mean, I can't hear that well. They don't give me very many microphones.
He's always listening.
I am always listening. Keep an eye out, WEGL.
So another great moment, I think, from the video board on Saturday was when, in one of the many futile efforts of the Ole Miss Rebels to go forward on fourth down, Matt Corral throws an errant slant that converts the ball, turns over on downs for Auburn, and then Webb does a great job of capturing the disdain on Lane Kiffin's face.
He looked disgusted.
The absolute puzzlement. And if you're a disciple of John Boy, you may be pretty good at reading lips by now. And then he asked Matt Corral just what the heck was he doing out there. I think that's right up there with angry Nick Saban for one of the greatest captured video board moments in venue. So I'm excited. I mean, the video board is so fun.
Yeah.
If you can get something that funny on the video board, everybody's here for it.
We have a really talented crew, and I'm not talking myself up here because I have a very small role in that crew, but we have overall a very, very talented crew that runs that. I mean, most of them are full-on broadcast people. We're the same company that runs TV broadcasts for basically every sport but football, and they put that same level of effort that they do into a full-on broadcast game into that video board. I mean, especially from our directors and our producers. And even sillier stuff like the captions on costumes.
Mm-hmm.
That was something where our director was like, I have an idea right now, and I'm going to yell at the graphics operator in the back of the room. We're going to get this up as soon as possible.
Yeah, we had Waldo early in the game.
Waldo with a lot of white space.
Waldo.
And he said, "You found me," if you could read lips.
Yeah.
And then later in the game when we were doing the score bugs over the costumes, you had a wide shot. Where's Waldo? Slow pan in.
Yeah.
Waldo.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's the doing of our graphics operator, Jacob Smith, along with our director, Daniel, and our producer, Jake, on that. But it's a really cool crew to be a part of, and it's a really cool atmosphere to be in the control room for.
What does Jared do?
Jared runs the transitions before they go to a replay. So when it plays like the call 811 before it starts playing a replay, Jared cues those up, get those ready. I think he also assists Jacob. I don't know much about the graphics side. That's not like... I'm audio. That's my job.
Yawn. All right, Jared, we love you.
We do
You're
love
killing
you, Jared.
it. Everything that's happening right now in the studio is because of you, Jared. So shout out to Jared. You're still killing it over at Auburn High School. And, I mean, you got quite the team, quite a production you had against IMG Academy.
Yeah, 20,000 views on that stream.
Unbelievable. So Jared Dillard, all this is possible because of him. And without him, Compact Discourse does not exist. So shout out to Jared, and that's how we're going to end things today, as I have to get out of here and register for my classes. So I want to thank Grayson and Davis for joining me on the show today. I also want to thank them for taking over the show for just a little bit, not completely ruining everything, Davis. And so I could meet with my advisor about registering for said classes. So with that, thank you so much for listening to this exciting episode of Compact Discourse right here on WEGL 91.1 FM, however you joined us today, whether that be from your terrestrial radio antenna from WeagleFM.com or by listening to our podcast. We would like to remind you that all of our previous episodes are available as a podcast, absolutely PSA break free wherever you get your podcast. Just search for Compact Discourse. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at CDiscAU, that's at CDISCAU, for links to said podcast if you want information about the show and important updates about Auburn's only student-run radio show. In the morning time, you might want to go ahead and follow WEGL on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at WEGL_AU. That's WEGL_AU, as our dedicated team of marketing professionals are working tirelessly to provide you high-quality content for fans of the station. And with that, for Jack Hart, for Davis Carroll, for Grayson Moyer, this has been another exciting episode of Compact Discourse. We wish you a great rest of your Monday, a great rest of your November, and we will talk to you tomorrow at 8 a.m. for the Tuesday edition of Compact Discourse. As always, go 1-0, War Eagle, and this is Jack Hart signing off until tomorrow.
but I'm trying to see a colorful bird.
Fire threatens everything in its path. When it threatens our nation and